Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Intellectual Films, and winter is here. So if you guys can detect a change in my voice, apologies, sincere apologies for that. But that is simply due to the horrors that is winter over here, and the fact that it is as presentable as it is currently is entirely due to the fact that I consume an insane amount of hot chocolate per day, on average precisely about 3 cups a day. So fair disclaimer there. But let's talk about PVE. So I've been dabbling within PVE during the last couple days. I haven't just been doing nothing. And another disclaimer here is that I'm quite far. I imagine I've made more progress than the average player. So do forgive me if you cannot entirely relate to this, but I will be preparing you for the later rounds of PvE. Primarily, I want to tell you about 2 characters that you should be focusing on for PvE and what it takes to beat those the every other node that contains a boss within it. And I'm going to share with you guys the secrets here. So let's get into it. Now, I have made it myself in normal mode. I've made it all the way to Chapter 8. Which is fairly impressive, if I do say so myself. And on heroic mode, I have gotten all the way to, I would say, about the mid part of Chapter 6. And I am stuck on the Deathstroke boss. I'm going to explain to you why Deathstroke is so formidable and difficult. But let's go into the 2 characters that I think are the most useful and what you need to defeat the nodes. So the first character that I'm going to talk about is Green Lantern. The reason why he's useful, and the reason why really any character like this is useful, is because they're a tank. Now, you need tanky teams if you want to be competitive within PvE, if you want to survive long enough, because you're taking an insane and absurd amount of damage. You're going through 3 waves. You have to survive long enough in that 3rd wave to make sure you don't lose a character. So, again, Green Lantern's leadership is very useful for this. Obviously, you want to. I wouldn't say you want to upgrade this fully. I have used it just at its base power, and it's worked relatively well for me. I haven't had too much trouble. It's a nice cushion onto the 3rd wave. You obviously want characters that will heal as well, which I will get into. But Green Lantern's an amazing overall character, especially if you have him at Legendary, simply because of his power gauntlet. Not only can he deploy shields, right, to your teammates by just using this move, which is yet another cushion for you, but he can also call an assist, which if you need that extra bit of damage, he can definitely provide it for you. So Green Lantern overall, I would say, is just super useful. And again, the fact that he can also shield himself is very useful. Nice cushion there if he's lucky enough to get hit. The main character that I want to discuss, and perhaps the most overlooked character, at least for me personally, has been Survival Suit Lex Luthor. Probably one of the more underrated characters in the entire game. So what is the strategy, per se, to defeating those every other nodes? Because they do get exponentially difficult as you progress. So what you want to do, the way you want to set yourself up, is you want to be able to have medium to full health when you enter that 3rd wave. That means you have to stall within that last 2nd wave. That means you can't kill all the enemies. You have to get it down to 1 enemy, get them down to relatively low health, and then just stall. Make sure you're shielding, you're healing all your characters, you're employing your buffs, you're preparing for that last round. I'm going to explain to you guys why Lex Luthor is so good at this. So first of all, he's just an overall amazing character in terms of all of his attacks. Just overall incredible. I'm not going to go too much into his first move. His first move is great. Damage, purge buffs. This is very useful if the main villain that you're facing, or hero for that matter, is employing buffs. It's a great starting move. But the main move I want to focus on is his team leadership. All allies have a 50% chance, or a coin flip of a chance, to get a light heal if buffed. This will only work if you have Lex and another teammate possibly employing buffs on your teammates, which gives you the chance of healing. Now, legendary status, obviously this is improved, and you definitely want to increase the chance to about 60%. This is very, very useful because it will ensure that even if you are in that 3rd stage, you're constantly healing, ensuring that you don't get one-shot. Now, the way you do this is you make sure that opponent does not get 3 turns. If your opponent gets 3 turns, whether that be Batman, Hawkgirl, Deathstroke, obviously the most formidable and scary character to face because he can easily one-shot you. So you want to employ stuns. You want to have a turn meter advantage, and you want to have speed advantage, and that's where his second special, which I'm going to get to. But the reason why his team leadership is so good is because you're more likely to walk into the third stage with full health, right? Ensuring that you don't get one-shotted by somebody like Deathstroke or Batman. And another thing, you want to have somebody like World's Greatest Detective Batman because you have a turn meter advantage. Again, if they are going to get more than 3 turns, they will most likely kill one of your characters, obviously resulting in a fail for you. His second move, one of the best moves. Again, if this is coupled with Batman, you will just have a world of advantage here. Because not only you're getting the turn meter bonus, but you actually have a speed bonus as well. And obviously Lex would have more speed. So this applies speed to all teammates. Again, very useful. You're getting off more turns, which in turn gives you more chances to kill him before he gets a chance to retaliate. Again, better chance you'll actually kill the character. Very useful. And this coupled with Lex Luthor's ability possibly to get his third ability off, which again negates 40% of the enemy turn meter. So not only do you want to stun, but you want to deploy this as well. And again, if you couple this with World's Greatest Detective Batman's leadership 1 detective skills ability, which minuses 1 cooldown to all abilities, you can knock this out every other turn, pretty much preventing your opponent from ever attacking you. So this is the character that I'm currently farming because I see him as so useful, and I see him as one of the best pathways to actually defeating PVE. Because again, the best way to do it is to just make sure the opponent doesn't have a chance to fight back against you. And stuns obviously help, turn meter, speed, and obviously somebody like Lex Luthor who can heal as well. So Lex Luthor overall, I feel like, is the perfect character for you guys to use in PvE. Now, of course, you can obviously resort to just having a power advantage. You can wait, you can farm, and just build a power advantage until you just overwhelm your opponent because you just have stronger characters, obviously, naturally. But I would say the more intelligent thing to do in this case would just simply have the better strategy, and the better strategy is to simply prepare, and that includes stalling in that second stage, preparing for that third stage, and then just making sure your opponent can't get 2 to 3 chances to one-shot your characters. I do hope this was helpful, guys. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys soon. Cheers.